the other night at the screening, you guys mentioned that you kind of put the second and third book in a blender a bit.
Sort of,
I was wondering if that was the plan.
Wasn't quite as messy as that.
Didn't look messy what I saw, but I was wondering if you guys had originally decided to do that, or if you ever tried to do a straight adaptation of the second book.
Yeah, when I first attacked it, basically, I mean, we knew we were going to try to make the next one, and we were just poring over that book and figuring out, how do we start the movie? How do we make this a cinematic experience? And there's just certain challenges with that, because it has to be a movie on its own. It can't just be a middle chapter. It still has to stand on its own in a way. So, we definitely looked at it, and it's just, it wasn't as exciting, to get going. There wasn't a momentum to it that necessarily you needed, I think, cinematically. You know what I mean? So we kind of made the changes we felt made it kind of exciting. It changed it a little bit, but still kind of allowed us to do the same things that we wanted to do from the book. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I go in assuming that there's going to be changes, and I don't have a problem with it. I think that's how you translate the experience of a book onto the big screen is by making changes.
Can you tell me a little bit about your visual style here? Because you want them to feel like they're in the same trilogy, but at the same time, I imagine you want to up your game or make this feel unique as well.
I think that's right. I mean, that was the whole thing for me on this movie, is if I was going to do it, I don't want to do a rehash of the first one. I don't want to just be the same thing. I want it to be a continuation, a linear kind of, climb to something else, So I wanted it to be bigger. I wanted it to be more cinematic. The thing about the first movie, it was kind of its charm. It was a very small, contained movie, It was very claustrophobic. But here it's about vistas, It's about sweeping, epic shots. We get to show a big world here. We see a horizon line. And what's cool about it is that, there are no walls anymore holding them in, but yet they're still lost. There's a cool concept there, you know what I mean? So visually, we really got to kind of change it up with just colors, camera, everything. But I still think it still has that same kind of gritty, kind of grounded approach, And then whatever it is that I do, whatever it is I bring to it, it's just kind of in there inherently anyway. So I don't put a lot of thought into it, but I did definitely want to kind of up the ante, you know what I mean?
And before they make me leave, I wanted to ask, one of my favorite sequences from the book, because I love horror, is when the orbs chew up people's heads. And I imagine that might not be appropriate for this movie, so are we going to see that or no?
There are some things that might have to wait till the next movie.